What's going on, Bears fans? Adam, Hoge, Mark Carman, CHGO outside Halas Hall. How about this weather? What month is it? I'm ready for training camp.
I mean, it's 50 degrees out here. It feels like Bears weather. Most people, they're doing their podcasts inside. We come outdoors because we're Bears. We're Bear fans. We're Bear podcasters. We're tough.
Well, I don't know about you. I'm ready for football already with the 5 new Bears introduced at Halas Hall. Of course, we had 3 yesterday. Bears came back today. Got to hear from Ryan Poles, Ben Johnson again, plus Drew Dalman and Dayo Odeyingbo, the Bears' new defensive end. Let's start with Drew Dalman. Very sort of cerebral, composed.
Let's call him a soft-spoken Drew Dalman. Is that fair?
Yeah, but I also found him to be very humble and aware of, like, for instance, he was asked about just, leadership and coming into a new locker room, and he was like, well, look, I'm a stranger coming into the room. He's like, I've always been a guy who feels like I got to earn that, which I think is fair.
Right, and Joe Thuney said the same thing. And Grady Jarrett said that he's, we've got to, bleed together and all that. But
I'm pretty sure Grady Jarrett's walking in that room and with a C on his chest already.
Right, you're going to know he's there. So I do wonder, because the Bears have been looking for that vocal leader in the offensive line room. He doesn't jump off the page here. I don't know if Jonah Jackson's going to get in there and do it. Drew and Joe both seem like they're, professional, but lead by example guys. So I do wonder how that will come together. To the Ben part of the equation today, which I thought was interesting, Drew's going to be the quarterback of the offensive line. He wants Caleb and Drew to see the game the same way, and there's a bunch of ways they can play. I'm actually curious your thought on that, what he meant by that.
Well, the takeaway from my question to Ben about, just that marrying up the center with the quarterback and why he thinks Drew's a good fit for that, he had a little bit of a anecdote in there where it's like he doesn't know yet how,
right,
built into the offense, how much responsibility. He talked about how you can come to the line with a bunch of different stuff and make checks, or just sort of have your plan and go with a little bit more tempo. When you go with tempo, you're just gonna run what's called. And so I found that to be super interesting, because I think that is backing up what Ben Johnson said from his first presser, which was this offense is going to be tailored to what his players can do. And the bottom line is, we've been back here at Halas a couple times. I don't know how much Caleb Williams has been here, but they're not even allowed to get in here and actually start practicing or even have meetings until the off-season program starts next month. So now there is an extra mini camp that you're allowed to have when you have a new coach. So that'll be advantageous in April. But Ben doesn't know yet what Caleb and Drew Dalman, who just signed here today officially, what they can all do. And I appreciate that he's going to be flexible.
Well, and he also said along those lines, it's not going to be easy. It's going to be hard. We are going to fail. He's going to figure out, can you handle all this? Can you not handle all this? If you can't handle all this, then we're going to do it this way. If you can't handle it, then maybe we'll play it that way. Which to me, I don't know if you're hearing it any differently. It's, hey, Caleb, how much can you digest, how quickly, and then we can go from there.
Well, this was more of a general observation, but I did love that moment from Ben Johnson, real football coach moment, when he's asked, how are you going to make this easier for your players? He's like,
no,
make it easier. This should be hard.
Right.
This is the NFL. It should be hard. I love that answer.
Do you see this hair? Do you see the stress on my face? I've been here for 5 minutes. Do you see Greg Braggs' tweet yesterday? All that's going on every single day. So, yeah. And then moving over to Dayo real quick.
Yeah.
I enjoyed his energy. And the second question, I think, in the press conference setting before we got to the scrum, I think Mark Grody, shout out Grody, asked him, or he was asking Poles about it. The sack numbers aren't where you were at. I'm looking at Dayo as Grody's asked the question, and Dayo starts staring him down across the room, and Grody actually asked him directly later. But I think a pretty motivated guy to prove that the $16 million he's going to get for the next 3 years, he's going to pay that off.
Yeah, bold move by Mark Grody.
Word
on the street is he's made a couple people upset with talking about the sack numbers.
Big time.
Dayo, what I thought was interesting, look, you never know sometimes when guys sign with new teams. Sometimes players like to be very involved. Sometimes they're like, I'm in Dubai. Let me know, Mr. Agent, where I'm going. So I asked Dayo today, okay, look, Dennis Allen likes his long, big, tall defensive ends. How aware of you of that? And your fit with this defense? And he's like, very aware. Definitely aware. Been watching the Saints for a long time. And then later he got asked a question about some of the defensive ends he studied, kind of learns. I think that was by you.
Yeah. Who did he shout out?
He shouted out Cam Jordan,
right.
who of course played for Dennis Allen, and is exactly the same type of thing. Big, tall, long. Your reaction when Dayo walked in the room, I believe you were like, oh my God, he's huge.
Yeah, I was going to say, on-site testimonial, Dayo Odeyingbo, large individual. He is tall. He's got a little width to him too. So, and yeah, he also, Cam Jordan, then he circled around. He's like, listen, I can name a ton of guys. I watch everyone. Montez Sweat, who reached out to him, like that him and Tez are building a bond. But a lot of smiles into back-to-back days here at Halas Hall, Adam Hoge.
Yeah, a lot of real football players coming through the door here at Halas Hall. Very exciting. We know you're excited. Please hit that like button. Please hit subscribe. We do a show called CHGO Bears Podcast 5 days a week. We got more coverage coming your way tomorrow on Friday as we wrap up this free agency frenzy week. Become a diehard too. allchgo.com/intro. If you get that link now this week, you can become a CHGO diehard for just $36 for the whole year. That's $3 a month. Great value. And come to the draft party too. We just announced all that. We got tickets for sale, allchgo.com. It's going to be an exciting offseason as it usually is for the Chicago Bears. So again, please hit that like button. Please subscribe. Talk to you guys soon.
We all silly like the mayor.